Hey guys, it's me, Waysun Johnny Tsai at the 2012 Atlanta Blade Show. It's Sunday, we're wrapping up, and I decided to stop by the DPX Blackwater booth with a friend, Uber designer, and an awesome author, reporter, journalist, Robert Young Pelton, bro. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, talk to me about the knives, man. Congratulations on your award last night for Import Knife of the Year, was it?
You know, I wasn't there. I was out drinking, so we'll find out later.
We'll find out later, but it's cool. So let's talk.
We won an award for our DPX knives, but DPX is introducing the Blackwater line this year.
Okay, let's talk about it, man.
Well, what we did is we sat down and we looked at what special operations and people who work on the sharp tip of the spear need. So we developed a line of blades under the Blackwater brand. It's targeted just towards professionals, military, police, law enforcement, intelligence. And each one of these knives is developed with a specific input from one of those groups. So for example, when we were talking to the teams on the West Coast, they told us that they did a lot of combatives these days because when they went in door knocking at 3 o'clock in the morning, a lot of the people inside would jump them and they would end up tussling on the ground. So they needed a very, very secure and very definitive end to that combat, and we decided we needed to design a knife that was designed for self-defense. And the key to this knife is that it's a 5mm thick knife. It's a very thick knife. It has a hollow handle though, which makes it a little lighter. But if you look at the grip, it specifically is created for both reverse and forward grip, and also it allows the user to use the front in any combat situation, and also slash. It comes with serrations on the back, which is designed for creating a wound or just for utility work, whether you want to open an ammo can.
Cut rope.
Yeah, and these knives are made with Nylock steel, which is a semi-stainless steel, but it's a very hard, fine edge, so it stays sharp.
You got a good butt end there. Also, obviously,
very
doubles
unusual
as a beer opener.
Yeah, well, we also we also have a lanyard hole, but you know, our knives are a little different. We like to have a little bit of fun, so
yeah, of course.
It also kind of looks like a roaring animal or a bear.
It does. It's like a bear, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. The next one we do is called the Spec War. Spec War is just a beautiful chunk of steel, just based on our half. It's a LMAX blade, which is a beautiful, beautiful steel, completely stainless, but we coat it with PVD, or particulate vapor deposition. It comes with customizable logos, and a lot of the teams wanted something they could personalize, whether with their individual teams or the Trident. They also wanted us to remove the hollow handle because when they go underwater, the pressure forces the air out and the water in. And they showed us their standard issue dive knife, and it was surprising how much maintenance it needed every time they used it. So we created another knife called the Polar. Now the Polar is a very unusual knife. Most people think that a Navy SEAL wants a lot of knife, a big giant knife. And what we did is we created probably one of the smallest dive knives you've ever seen. This is a beta titanium knife that within the finger pull actually has tools for BCs and also tanks. It's got a very definitive grip, which is something we invented, which is, it looks very aggressive, but it actually stops your hand from sliding forward.
On the blade.
Yep, it's got a wire cutter for upward. We also took the tip off, which makes it look kind of funny. But the last thing you want underwater when you're trying to cut your gear loose or work on things is a tip, so we make it into a pry bar. This is made with titanium. It'll also come in beta titanium. It'll also come in a new sandwich steel, which has got S30V in the center and then beta titanium on the outside. Comes with a very light, very small
Kydex.
No, this is actually injection molded.
Okay.
But it offers a lot of mounting points for gear, drain holes, things like that.
Well, it's good that you did that tip on it, because a lot of those guys would tip off their knives anyway, prying with them. So that's, you know, because they need the pry. So that's good and safer.
And also for EOD work, you need something that has no magnetic or ferrous material in it. So titanium is not only resistant to corrosion, it also doesn't set off any kind of magnetic or spark.
It's cool.
Yeah, and so the other one is the Grizzly. which is a sear knife.
Yeah, that it's the right name for this knife.
Yeah, sear is a class they go through before they graduate, and it basically teaches you how to survive, evade, resist, and escape. And the idea is that you're out in the woods trying to avoid capture, and you've got to make shelter, you've got to basically live on your own, and you need a knife that's not going to fail you.
Right.
But the other thing is you got to carry this knife. So this knife features our sort of classic hollow handle, which lightens it, balances.
Okay.
It's got a serration we invented that can be sharpened with a flat stone.
Okay.
It's a Nylox blade. It's a very hard blade, goes up to about 60, and it's got that same ergonomic handle so that you don't lose it. And it's got the little fun end, which is basically for banging, and you can use it as a chisel if you want. And the other thing about Blackwater knives, which is very, very unusual, is that we actually offer an insurance policy so that in the first 2 years, if you buy the additional policy, we'll replace your knife, whether it's stolen, lost, confiscated, or even if you throw it away. But we provide that free of charge for people that are active military, which means that Blackwater will pay the insurance policy
on the knife
to replace your knife if you lose it, break it, because we want people bringing good stuff into the field.
Right.
A lot of people, their mother, their dad will buy them a beautiful knife to deploy with, and they'll go, I don't know, I might lose it, I'll keep that at home, I'll use a cheap one out in the field. We want you to have your Blackwater knife with you all the time. So we also offer loaners. I mean, we want you to have your blade with you at all times.
And that is amazing, because I'll tell you, I was just talking to another maker over here, and I'll be posting a video, but I was talking to him about one of their knives that I filmed and they gave me last year, and I lost it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people lose things. My backpack has all kinds of hooks on it because I lose shit. So, I mean, that's an amazing warranty, and it really stands up and shows how much you guys care about the end user and the guys out there in the field. So that's another reason why to get a knife with DPX and one of these Blackwater knives. That insurance program is just phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you. And, you know, the point is that we listen. What makes us different, I think, is we sit down with a clean piece of paper. We ask people how they use a knife, what they want in a knife, and then we build it for them. And then we go back and we refine it again. So this is the result of almost a year of development, of talking to the teams within the community. And we're kind of excited that we can actually give something that they essentially designed.
Well, this is a great new lineup of blades. I know that a lot of soldiers out there are going to appreciate the thought and design work behind them.
I got one more.
What's this here?
Well, one of the things that I found interesting is that in the security business, a lot of people work what they call plainclothes or evening or formal.
Yes.
And you know, everybody makes a black tactical knife, which is fine. But we wanted to create something that could match sort of a high-end bodyguard type of activity. In other words, very low-key but very elegant. So we created what we call the Aculus. The Aculus is unique in that it is made out of one solid piece of titanium. The entire frame is one piece of aircraft quality titanium alloy. And then we put an LMAX blade on it, but before we coat it, we stonewash it, which softens the profiles, and then we PVD coat it with a matte TICN, which is a titanium alloy.
You stonewash it and then you coat it.
Right, which gives it a beautiful soft luster, which means it doesn't pick up any reflections.
Right.
You also see that in the frame, so it's not going to flash when you pull it out.
Right.
If you see the edge on that blade, that is a wicked looking.
Yeah. That is like a tactical gentleman's folder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But everything we do is purpose built, so it's also designed to be concealed in the hand and used as a pressure device if you get into close contact with people, but you know, it's non-lethal and it just puts a little bit extra pain.
It's a nice roll of quarters.
Exactly. So the bottom line is it has multiple functions. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife.
It is. What's the MSRP on that?
That's going to be about $650. It's not a cheap knife. And once again, that's why the insurance program on this particular blade, which is expensive because we can only make about 5 of these a week, the insurance policy becomes even more critical because nobody wants to lose a $650 knife.
Right. Now, is this the knife that won the award or no?
No, our T3 won the award, which is...
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but this actually wasn't entered in this category, so next year.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be an award-winning knife. This is great, man. As always, it's good to see you. Yeah. I'll probably see you next time at SHOT Show if I don't talk to you sooner.
Come on by.
Robert Young Pelton, what's the website, man?
It's www.blackwaterusa.com.
And the other one?
DPXgear.com.
Awesome, bro. Stay alive, bro.